All right, well, good afternoon. January 24th marks the 10-year anniversary of the disappearance of Jennifer Kesse. And our purpose here is to, once again, ask for people to come forward with information, call Crime Line if they know anything about this case. I also want to call up the detectives in a couple minutes to give some more information. But I wanted to say this, and I told the Kesses earlier, that we will never forget Jennifer. We will never give up our search to find Jennifer. So at this time, I'd like to call up Detective Teresa Sprague and Marie Hatcher to give you some more information.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. I'm Detective Sprague, and this is my partner, Detective Hatcher. Imagine waking up and your daughter is nowhere to be found. You can't reach her. You can't locate her. The police can't locate her. Hours turn into panic and days into your worst nightmare. Just try and imagine that for a moment. I cannot for one moment imagine what kind of nightmare the Kesse family has been sleepwalking through for the last 10 years. Everything changed for this family on Tuesday, January 24th, 2006, when Jennifer Kesse did not show up for work at Central Florida Investments. The last time Jennifer's family spoke to her, she was at her home in her condo at Mosaic at Millennia at 3735 Conway Road on Monday night, January 23rd, 2006. On Tuesday morning, it appeared she got ready and left for work between 7:30 and 8 a.m. Then she vanished. On Thursday, January 26th, Orlando police were notified that Jennifer's black Chevrolet Malibu was found abandoned at Huntington on the Green condominiums just a mile away from her home. Since then, hundreds of investigators and officers from numerous agencies have searched for Jennifer and answers for the Kesse family. The FBI has examined Jennifer's case, and a panel of homicide and missing persons experts has weighed in on the investigation. Detective Hatcher and I assumed the investigation in late 2012. Based on a tip, we organized a large-scale search operation with the assistance of Search and Rescue of Central Florida on February 22nd, 2014. That search concentrated on the west side of International Drive, north of World Center Drive. And as recently as the week of December 11th, 2015, based on a tip to the Kesse family, we asked the National Park Service for Biscayne Bay National Park to search Sands Key by air, water, and land. Deputy Chief Wayne Rybeck of the National Park Service reported they did not locate Jennifer after their extensive search of the island. Since Detective Hatcher and I assumed the investigation in 2012, we have routinely followed up on numerous tips, tracked down possible sightings of individuals thought to be Jennifer, interviewed witnesses, conducted searches, and released an age progression photo of Jennifer in January of 2015. Just yesterday, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Missing Persons, in cooperation with Florida Outdoor Advertising, has Jennifer's photo on multiple digital billboards throughout Orlando that will run until next week. Our current focus is on re-examining and resubmitting evidence from Jennifer's vehicle to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement's Orlando Crime Lab. We are hoping that new testing methods and technology will result in new leads. Identifying the person of interest caught on surveillance video walking away from Jennifer's car on the day we believe she disappeared is paramount in solving this case. None of us ever wanted to see this day. No one wanted 10 years to pass without finding Jennifer and getting answers and justice for her and her family. We remain steadfast and relentless in our efforts to find Jennifer and bring her home. To those people who know what happened to Jennifer or participated in taking her or harming her in any way, your soul will not rest until you make this right. We won't stop until we find Jennifer and bring those responsible to justice. It's been 10 years. This family deserves to have their daughter and sister back home now. I urge anyone with information about Jennifer's disappearance to come forward, especially if you know who it was driving her car on the day she went missing. We thank you, and may God bless the Kesse family.
And at this time, I'd like to ask Drew and Joyce to come up.
You okay? Good morning, and we thank all of you, not only for being here today, but being with us for the last 10 years. It is actually an incredible feeling, and I don't know if I have the words anymore, to be quite honest with you, to try and touch our feelings. I guess, as you can imagine, we've been through the gambit of what people go through when very heinous crime happens. But we do thank law enforcement who are standing behind us, as well as all law enforcement that have tried to bring Jennifer home and tried to bring whoever did this to bear their crime. One thing, well, a few things we want the public to know is, first of all, we thank you. We thank you for making the calls, because we have had over 1,000 leads called in over these past 10 years, actually a lot more than that. We thank you for always being vigilant and being at our sides. We don't know thousands of people that contact us through guest books, through media, write us letters, restaurants, gas stations. But we thank you, because in reality, Jennifer needs you. And Jennifer needs the public more than any time before, because we know more than one person knows what happened to Jennifer 10 years ago. We know that. It's not a secret, except maybe to us. But the answers are there. They've always been there. We just haven't been able to see them clearly yet. And someday we will. But I want the public to know, and we've seen it constantly, probably over the last 7 to 10 years, that the public is solving the most heinous crimes. They're speaking up. They're doing the things that we ask, and that, the families ask of the victims. And we ask you to continue with us down this journey. We know it's been long. We know that new things just don't come out all the time, if not ever, because realistically, I believe we're still in the same place that we were January 24th, 2006. So we're still waiting for that one person to come through with the one bit of information that could bring Jennifer home, for the good or the bad. It doesn't matter, at least to this father, what condition Jennifer is in anymore. I hate to say that, and maybe my family feels different, but it's time for Jennifer to come home. Who's ever taken her? 10 years is a long time. Whatever reason you may have had 10 years ago to take a human being, which just cannot even come into our minds, we can't even think of that. Your usefulness for what you took her for, it has to be done. It has to be over. And if you've done something with her that she's no longer with us, please give us the opportunity to bring Jennifer home where she belongs. But we do know, time after time after time, it is someone in the public that makes that call, that enables the people in the law enforcement behind us to do what they do best and truly find Jennifer. So I may be begging for the 10th year, I may be groveling for the 10th year, but we desperately need your help, and more than anyone else, it's Jennifer. It's not us. It's not what we go through in 10 years. And people don't want to know what we've gone through in 10 years, to be quite honest with you. I don't even feel like telling the stories of what have happened to us. But we want you to know that it's all about Jennifer Kesse. And it's all about, in the state of Florida, approximately 4,000 missing children and adults on a daily basis, and about the 60 to 70,000 that are called in missing every year in our state. We have to make it a priority. This is what our government does for us: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. This is what we ask from our government. Jennifer didn't have a full life of that. It was taken from her. And in a way, it's been taken from us. But if we can just get the proper information to bring Jennifer back home, this family honestly will just go away, I believe. But it's just, we can't quit. We have unconditional love for Jennifer.
We're not going to go anywhere.
We can't go anywhere. It's just an impossibility. It's not the way we're built. And we will never stop. And this family will never break. If you haven't broken us in 10 years, we're not breaking, folks. So we will continue down, and we will be the biggest and loudest advocates for our daughter, and continue to do so for all those who are missing, exploited, unidentified, and trafficked in this world. Because they need us. They need advocates to speak up for them. Because this should not be happening in the greatest country and the greatest civilization that's ever existed. And we are in that. We may not feel like it at this point, certain point in time in our country, but we are. And we need to start acting like that. And when we look around and see all the crime that's happening across our country, is this the way we want to live? I don't think so. So the old saying, if you see something, say something. Please. It will make everyone's life safer, our neighborhoods safer, and it will give the opportunity for our children and our grandchildren to grow up in a world and be better off than they did of their parents, as it always has been. It's not too late. Please, make the call to Crime Line, make the call to the police station. If you don't want to be known, talk to clergy. There's so many ways of helping Jennifer out. There's still reward money. Take it. If it's not enough, call. Tell us what's needed. We'll do it. We'll get it done. We have in the past. We will do it again. But most importantly, just getting back to it, we need to have the public understand that Jennifer, after 10 years,
It's still missing.
is still missing, just the same as she was that 10 years ago. And we honestly need your help so bad. She needs your help so bad. And we thank you. We thank every single one of you that have been with us. And honestly, in the media, most of you have become our friends. It's amazing. And I'm sorry we had to become friends this way. But together, law enforcement, media, the public, and this family will bring Jennifer home. We will. We have no other way of making this happen except for your help. And we thank you. If they have questions, I'll
If you guys have questions for the Kesses?
At what point did it come clear to you that you said it doesn't matter which, whatever, this comes home? At what point did you get that?
Well, first of all, that's my personal feeling. Joyce and Logan, they may not hold that feeling. I don't know exactly when. It's just that, when you go through years, it was years. I mean, I guess maybe 2 years ago. It certainly gets to a point where I don't know if an individual, and we've seen it. We saw it in Ohio. After 10 years, 3 young women walked out alive. They're not only alive today, they're married, they're having children, they're vibrant. It works. People can come back from this. But I look at what we've done, and I look at what you folks have done. And at some point, you have to at least give the opportunity that if someone knows what happened to Jennifer and it's not for the good, it's okay.
Just tell us.
We just need to know. No one should go through not being found. Not for the family. No one should not be found forever. We can't have that. So it was probably 2 years ago, and I trouble with that every single day that I ask for that when we have media. But it's a good possibility. In fact, it's probably more than 80% possibility that Jennifer's not with us anymore, and we're realists. We have to look at that. We can't sit with rose-colored glasses and say, oh no, we know she's still alive. We don't know that. Everything tells us, honestly, that she's not. Except for what's happened in the last 3 to 4 years around the country. And then you say, damn, she very well could be. And if anybody has the opportunity, I think Jennifer has a great opportunity. But we're just asking for that chance, one way or the other.